Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out, was released straight on VHS and Laserdisc. So please, enjoy the new format. After the events of Part 2, Ricky has been put in a coma, and researchers are trying to create a link between Ricky and a psychic through dream sharing. They're trying to make a scientific breakthrough in medicine, but I've gotta say, it seems like a bad idea to crawl into this guy's head. Maybe they could have picked a patient that isn't a maniac. Also, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Ricky has been replaced with a new actor. This time, he's much more restrained and subtle, with a touch of sadness and loneliness, kinda like Frankenstein's monster. It's an infinitely better performance, if you can look past the glass brain cap. But it's also sad to see the playful side of Ricky gone. He will be missed. Anyway, the psychic is Laura, a blind girl that has to suffer nightmare after nightmare with Ricky. And it also wouldn't be a Silent Night, Deadly Night sequel without a couple flashbacks to the original film. She's actually having second thoughts about these sessions, and she agrees to speak with the scientist again after spending the holidays with her grandmother. While she waits for her brother to pick her up, with his new girlfriend, she has a nightmare that the receptionist is killed. It's kinda interesting because right after that, a drunk Santa Claus is wandering the hospital to greet patients, and he slips into Ricky's room to take a drink. Ricky wakes up and brutally kills Santa, before slaughtering the receptionist, in the exact same way as Laura's nightmare. But I guess it wasn't a nightmare, it was a vision. Which is kinda interesting, because the psychic connection goes both ways. Ricky can sense Laura. It looks like everyone is visiting Grandma for Christmas this year. So then Ricky kills a guy after hitching a ride, and then he kills a gas station attendant. And meanwhile, a police lieutenant and the scientist start tracking down Ricky, knowing that there's only one place that he would go. Grandma, the nicest woman you've ever met, but she makes the fatal mistake of offering Ricky a Christmas present, and he flies into a rage. This is where the movie basically slams on the brakes. It was already moving at a pretty slow pace, with the occasional slasher scene sprinkled in. But now most of the movie is just going to be padding, with no real plot development. It's a bit frustrating, with just about every scene just lingering on absolutely nothing. But it does have some neat ideas. There's a major focus on Laura's vision impairment, and there's a lot of attention to detail on that. There's even a scene where she's watching a movie and the guy is getting his eyes pecked out. It's all fluff and it's killing time, but at least it's thematic. Well, usually. But in the final 30 minutes, Ricky finally comes out of hiding and starts to attack. The brother gets attacked and they have to run away, and the scientist shows up and then he gets gutted. Ricky smashes through the cheap prop front door, which is in the spirit of the original, and he takes out the girlfriend, leaving Laura all alone to defend herself. She hides in the basement and has a psychic connection with her dead grandma, urging her to use her powers, to fight the darkness with her own darkness. So she smashes the lights, leveling the playing field, and manages to defeat Ricky. As Ricky is taken away by an ambulance, Laura wishes the police lieutenant a Merry Christmas, and Ricky wishes us a Happy New Year. Better Watch Out is not the best movie in the series. I would argue it's maybe the worst of the three. I think the first movie is a legitimately enjoyable holiday horror, with the sequel being laughably fun. But this one is just so uneventful. Part 1 and Part 2 are fairly ambitious stories, spanning years of these characters' lives, exploring the nature of these killers. Part 3 has some interesting ideas, but they aren't fleshed out, and so it kinda plays like a generic slasher flick. It's bland and forgettable, which is too bad because I do like some of this movie. But we aren't done yet. Despite every single entry being hated, and them running the premise straight into the ground. They're gonna keep making more. Are we going to find out what happens with Ricky? Is Laura going to get her mind infested and become a killer? Nope. Witches and a giant cockroach.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.